Good morning, friends. So today we'll be seeing how we can make use of the virtual labs. In virtual labs, instead of having actual uh, equipments, we can virtually do the experiments, see what nature of results we will be getting, and we can also draw the curves and conclude the results. So first we'll be starting with mechanics of machine lab. For theory of machines too, few experiments are available in this one. So I started. So when we are coming to this particular lab, I can see that this is uh, you can see that we are having mechanics of machine lab. In this one, we will be having n number of experiments. So according to our syllabus of theory of machines 2, I think these two will be applicable: elliptical cam mechanism and eccentric cam mechanism. So let us see first elliptical cam mechanism. So this is our theory part. In theory, everything is available. Now, basically, what is cam? Cam is a machine element which we are going to use to convert type of motion. Suppose I want to convert a rotary motion into a reciprocatory motion or oscillating motion. I'll be using the cam and follower. In many types, we are classifying the cams: wedge and flat cams, plate cams, cylindrical cams. So this is called as a knife-edged follower. The end of this follower is like a knife. So in this one, we are having a roller follower. A roller is attached at the end of this follower. So this is the cylindrical cam. So the cam is in the form of a cylinder, and this will be giving a to and fro motion. Like depending upon the type of output motion required, we will be having different combinations or different shapes of cam and follower. Now coming to the cam nomenclature. So this nomenclature, so when I am looking at this cam, I can see that what there is one very small circle. That circle is called as the base circle. Base circle is the smallest circle which can be drawn on the surface of a cam. The size of the cam will be depending upon this base circle. On this slightly bigger than this, you can see that one more circle is there, this circle. So this will be called as the pitch circle or pitch curve. This will be the uh, prime circle, and the this circle is the prime circle, and this curve is called as the pitch curve. Now the cam is having the shape like this shape. Whatever I am showing along this base circle, the actual cam will be there. In the given case, I am having a roller follower. The roller is attached to the end of this follower, and you can see one point at the center of the roller. That point will be called as the trace point on the follower. If I am keeping this follower stationary and rotating the cam through 360 degrees, I will be getting one curve, a curve like this, which is traced by the trace point. That curve is called as our pitch curve. So the pitch curve will be offset by the distance equal to radius of the roller in case of a roller follower. And if we are having other types, then say knife edge follower, that base circle and pitch curve will be, sorry, the base and pitch curve will be the same. Now we are having one more important definition, follower displacement. See, whenever in this we can see one cycle is 360 degrees. So when I'm rotating the cam by full 360 degrees, I'll be having different types of motions of the follower. Let us say during 90 degrees, the follower is moving in the upward direction. For the next 90 degrees, the follower is remaining at its position only. Then for the next, the follower is returning to the original bottom position, and for the next 90 degrees, again it is remaining idle. So this first region is called as the rise and dwell region. During dwell region, the cam will be rotating, but there is no motion on the follower. And for the return, during the return, the cam is rotating and the follower is coming to the original downward position. And during dwell, again there is no motion of the follower, and the follower will remain for certain time in the lower position. Now, applications of cam. You can see in IC engines, opening and closing of the valves will be operated by the cams. Like this, will be having a cam, and this will be the follower. So as this shaft rotates, because of its shape, it is having the peak point here. Means when this point comes and touches the follower, it will be at the bottommost or the lowermost position. So like this, when this valve is outside, it will be inside. Similarly, if it is inside, it will be outside. Like depending upon our requirement and number of valves, we can have n number of cams attached directly, welded or permanently attached or fastened to the shafts. Now, there are many applications. Now, before going deeply into the theory, first we'll look at the experimental point of view. Now, the procedure is also given. So, when I am saying elliptical cam, ellipse will be having two axes. One is major axis, other one is the minor axis. The motion will be depending upon major and minor axis. See, if I am calling A as the semi-major axis, B as the semi-minor axis. Now, and if I am giving the values of A and B in an ellipse, if A is larger, it will be called as major axis. If B is larger, it is called as major axis. And we can control the angular velocity of the cam, which is constant, that is indicated by omega in radian per second. So when we are drawing or actually operating, we will be getting different curves. So this curve, this is a